Have you ever had one of those moments where the world around you for just a split second feels, well, wrong?
Uh-huh.
Where something so utterly bizarre or, out of place occurs that it forces you to question everything you thought you knew about reality, and perhaps especially about the seemingly mundane creatures that share our planet, like, raccoons.
Raccoons, yes. That's certainly where this story takes us.
Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a collection of sources that will truly stretch the limits of your imagination. Seriously.
Mm.
You've brought us accounts from a quiet night in Clayton, North Carolina that read less like local news and, well, more like the opening scenes of an absolutely wild, slightly unhinged thriller.
That's a fair description. It escalates quickly.
We're about to explore events that defy easy explanation, and trust me, it gets wonderfully weird.
Our mission, as always, is to meticulously navigate these intriguing, almost, you could say, unbelievable accounts. We'll meticulously separate the presented facts, what the sources claim happened, from the inherent speculation that, well, naturally arises in such extraordinary circumstances.
Absolutely. Got to keep those separate.
Our goal is to extract every single nugget of knowledge and insight, no matter how extraordinary, to truly understand the unfolding narrative surrounding John and Gretchen Whitfield's encounter. We want to grasp the implications of what they witnessed and, what it might mean for our understanding of the ordinary world.
So settle in. We're heading straight into what began as a perfectly quiet night in Clayton, one that quickly spiraled into anything but ordinary. Okay, so our journey into the truly bizarre begins, as so many strange tales do, on an evening that promised nothing but peace. Really unremarkable.
Seems that way, yes.
The setting is Clayton, North Carolina, and the clock had just ticked past 11:37 p.m.
Late.
Yeah, very late. Our sources paint a vivid picture, that specific hushed hour when the day's cacophony has faded, the cicadas, usually this relentless chorus, had finally ceased their nightly song.
Everything's quiet.
Exactly. And the streetlights just hummed with a low, almost secretive energy. It was a scene of perfect, unremarkable Americana.
Right.
John Whitfield, one of our key witnesses in this unfolding mystery, was exactly where you'd expect a man of his intellectual pursuits to be ensconced in his favorite recliner, maybe half dozing, grappling with the dense theological complexities of a commentary on the book of Ezekiel. Typical Tuesday night.
A picture of serene, scholarly domesticity, as you said.
That is, until the sharp, insistent ring of the landline shattered the quiet.
And the landline itself.
Yeah.
That's significant, isn't it, in this day and age?
It really stands out.
The significance of that landline in particular is not to be underestimated. In an era dominated by mobile devices, instant digital communication.
Right. Who even has one?
Well, exactly. A late-night call on a landline carries an almost archaic weight. It signals an urgency, a non-routine nature that immediately commands attention.
It's not just a text message.
No. It's a direct, almost dramatic summons from a world that maybe predates our hyper-connected present. John's immediate, almost theatrical reaction. Our sources describe him thinking, nobody calls the landline unless it's trouble. Or telemarketers with a death wish. It sets an intriguing tone.
He sounds like quite a character already.
He's clearly a man with a flair for the dramatic, perhaps even a predisposition for the unexpected. And then, his very next thought.
Yeah.
Finally, evidence. The government owes me an apology for that Freedom of Information Act request they called nonsense.
Wow. Okay, so he's already there. He's thinking conspiracy.
This brief internal monologue reveals a great deal about John. He isn't merely a passive observer. He's someone who is clearly engaged with what many might consider, fringe theories. And he's almost expecting the extraordinary, actively seeking validation for his previously dismissed inquiries.
Right, he's primed for it.
This deep-seated conviction, this readiness to embrace the conspiratorial, it forms a crucial lens through which he interprets the unfolding events.
Indeed. While John is already leaping to conclusions about government apologies and FOIA requests, it's his wife, Gretchen, who actually takes the call.
The practical one, perhaps.
Seems like it. And her side of the conversation, described in these tantalizing fragments, quickly pulls us out of the realm of ordinary trouble, like Mrs. Hendricks falling again, and into the truly inexplicable.
What did she say?
The sources give us snippets, slim gems, glowing raccoons trying to break into her snack set.
Glowing raccoons. And Slim Jims.
Exactly. These snippets, delivered with Gretchen's inherent pragmatism, are almost comical in their absurdity, yet deeply unsettling. She offers a grounded, logical counterpoint right away to John's immediate leap to grand conspiracies. Her take.
Let me guess. Something sensible.
Or it means Mrs. Hendricks needs bifocals.
Okay. That sounds like Gretchen. Grounded.
This dynamic, the avid believer versus the steadfast skeptic, it's absolutely fundamental to how we
It forces us, as listeners, to constantly weigh the evidence through two very different interpretive frameworks.
constantly checking yourself.
And Mrs. Hendricks's initial report truly is a masterpiece of the bizarre, isn't it? Her detailed account of glowing raccoons
Growing.
trying to break into her snack shed with a particular, almost human-like craving for Slim Jims.
Specific brand.
It's so specific and so outlandish that it immediately becomes incredibly difficult to simply dismiss.
Right. You can't just laugh it off entirely.
The blend of the utterly mundane processed meat, sticks from a convenience store, with the fantastical, these luminescent nocturnal creatures, it creates a cognitive dissonance that is hard to shake.
Yeah, it really jars you.
It's a detail that, for all its absurdity, roots the strangeness in a very relatable everyday context. It makes the extraordinary even more compelling.
It hooks you.
It's precisely this kind of detail that forces even a hardened skeptic like Gretchen to pause, to listen, and to consider the possibility that something truly unusual is afoot. It's a key example of how the sources manage to ground the unbelievable in startling, memorable specificities.
So following this utterly bizarre tip from Mrs. Hendricks, John and Gretchen, propelled by their contrasting motivations, John's looking for proof, Gretchen's maybe just humoring him or checking on Miss Hendricks.
Or both?
Probably both. They head straight to what they quickly identify as the epicenter of this strangeness. A Sheetz parking lot.
The Sheetz.
Yeah.
A beacon of Americana.
Absolutely. Our sources go to great lengths to paint a sensory picture of this quintessential American backdrop. The pervasive scent of diesel, fried pickles, and low expectations.
That's quite the description.
Isn't it? It's a canvas of everyday normalcy upon which something truly unprecedented is about to be revealed, a stark contrast that just heightens the surreal nature of their investigation.
It underscores that even in the most familiar settings, the fabric of reality can fray in unexpected ways.
Exactly, and that's where things shift.
This is precisely where the narrative transitions from a secondhand verbal report, Mrs. Hendricks' call, to the tangible, undeniable, albeit peculiar, physical evidence.
What did they find first?
John, ever the one to dramatize the moment, according to the source, immediately identifies three-toed paw prints.
Three-toed. That's unusual for a raccoon, isn't it?
It is, but that's not the main thing. The prints were perfectly luminescent.
Glowing paw prints. Okay.
This is no longer merely Mrs. Hendricks's potentially unreliable testimony. There's a physical manifestation that directly corroborates a key element of her story, the glowing part.
Right. Tangible proof, sort of.
The fact that the prints are glowing is a critical detail. It immediately suggests something beyond natural animal behavior. It hints at either an unusual biological characteristic or maybe a technological enhancement or exposure to some unknown substance.
But Gretchen has another idea.
Of course, Gretchen, always maintaining her role as the voice of reason, offers a simple, rational explanation that underscores her commitment to the mundane.
Which is,
Or someone dropped a glow stick at a rave and the raccoon stepped in it.
okay, that's plausible, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe less likely at 11:37 p.m. in a Sheetz parking lot, but plausible.
It's her trying to find the ordinary explanation. This brief exchange perfectly encapsulates the ongoing tension between objective observation and subjective interpretation, a recurring theme.
Right. Believer versus skeptic.
But then as the narrative continues, the situation escalates rapidly. It moves far beyond mere accidental glow-stick encounters and challenges even Gretchen's capacity for rationalization.
And here's where it gets really interesting, where the initial absurdity gives way to something far more organized and, frankly, unsettling.
What happens next?
As they stand amidst the diesel fumes and the lingering smell of fried pickles, a subtle metallic clink, clink, click reaches their ears.
A metallic sound, not animal claws.
No. Cautiously, they creep closer, peeking around a dumpster, and what they observe directly elevates this from a quirky animal sighting to something truly unprecedented.
Okay, I'm ready.
There, in the dim light, are not one, but 6 raccoons.
6 of them.
And they are indeed glowing faintly green, confirming Miss Hendricks's initial unbelievable detail.
So the glowing wasn't just the prints, the animals themselves.
Correct. But that's just the beginning. These aren't just glowing animals, they're wearing crude helmets.
Helmet.
Yes, helmets fashioned out of crushed Mountain Dew cans.
Mountain Dew cans as helmets for raccoons.
I told you it gets weird. And their chattering isn't random animal sounds. It's described as a structured form of communication, what sounded like Morse code run through a kazoo.
Morse code through a kazoo. That's incredibly specific.
The visual is so absurdly specific, so deeply unexpected, it just burns itself into your mind like a scene from a low-budget sci-fi film, maybe?
Yeah.
Yet our source is presented as documented fact.
This direct observation represents an exponential leap in the level of sophistication we're witnessing here.
Absolutely.
We've gone from merely glowing animals to creatures exhibiting complex, intelligent behaviors, wearing improvised gear, engaging in structured, possibly coded communication.
And the most critical part.
And most critically, demonstrating advanced problem-solving skills. The profound implication, as Gretchen observes, is that they're hot-wiring a Ford Ranger.
They're trying to steal a truck. Glowing raccoons in Mountain Dew helmets are committing grand theft auto.
This detail is absolutely pivotal. Hot-wiring a vehicle isn't a simple act of instinct. It requires a detailed understanding of mechanical and electrical systems, specific tool manipulation, possibly, and a level of coordinated intelligence far beyond the known capabilities of even the most intelligent wild animals.
So what does that suggest?
Well, it suggests several potential and equally unsettling possibilities. Are we witnessing an unprecedented evolutionary leap in animal sentience? Or is there a hidden guiding intelligence or perhaps technological augmentation at play here?
Like they're being controlled.
Or enhanced?
Could these creatures be acting under the direction of an external force? Maybe even employing highly specialized yet seemingly rudimentary tools to achieve their objectives.
And John's take. John, predictably, immediately frames this as a grand coordinated operation. He leaps to the conclusion, first trucks, then Congress.
Of course he does. A bit hyperbolic, maybe.
His comment, while hyperbolic, underscores his pre-existing belief in a pervasive, shadowy conspiracy. He's using this new evidence to reinforce his established worldview.
Right. Everything fits his narrative.
This pushes us, and presumably them, to confront a fundamental question. What exactly is the nature of the intelligence and coordination we are witnessing here? It's a question that transcends simple animal behavior and demands a deeper, more analytical approach.
Okay, so John and Gretchen, their initial shock, probably giving way to this cautious determination, they press their stealthy approach. Closer to the truck, closer to the raccoons.
Trying to get a better look, gather more information.
Exactly. And they find themselves in a direct, unnerving confrontation. One of the raccoons, its eyes now not just glowing green, but described as glowing red like brake lights.
Red eyes now. That's even more menacing.
A truly chilling visual. It turns to face them. And in its teeth, clutched for all to see, is a small, processed Vienna sausage.
Vienna sausage. Not Slim Jims this time.
Apparently diversifying their processed meat intake. But the key thing is the can, or maybe the sausage itself, bears 3 ominous stamped letters. C.O.N.
C.O.N. stamped right on it.
This isn't just an observation of strange behavior anymore. This is the introduction of a named entity, a tangible clue.
Right. It immediately elevates the weirdness from mere animal anomaly to something with discernible organization, maybe a collective identity, and most disturbingly, a potential agenda.
C.O.N.
This moment, the appearance of the C.O.N. stamp and the subsequent chant, it represents a critical juncture in our deep dive.
There's a chant.
Oh, yes. Up until now, our analysis has focused on observed, albeit highly unusual, behavior. Now, we are directly presented with a named, organized entity, C.O.N. The raccoons don't simply display the acronym, they chant it collectively.
Con on.
They're chanting con, like vocally. This unified vocalization, a clear, repeated acronym, strongly indicates a collective identity, a shared purpose, and a level of internal cohesion that further separates these creatures from typical animal groups.
Wow.
Okay. For John, of course, this is the ultimate validation. He triumphantly, almost ecstatically declares, "Committee for Ordinary Normality. I knew it."
He already has the full name figured out, just from C.O.N.
Apparently. He continues, "They're behind everything. Chemtrails, kombucha, and now raccoons."
Chemtrails, kombucha, and raccoons. That's quite a portfolio for one committee.
This declaration is incredibly revealing, isn't it? It provides a crystal clear window into John's personal framework for understanding the bizarre.
He connects everything.
For him, every new, inexplicable oddity isn't an isolated event, but another piece of irrefutable evidence confirming a grand, overarching conspiracy. The C.O.N. becomes his central unifying explanation for all of the world's perceived strangeness.
From government ops to health trends, wow.
From governmental covert operations to popular health trends, yes.
And as the raccoons, having delivered their cryptic message, the stamp, the chant scatter into the night, they leave behind tantalizing, albeit strange, pieces of evidence.
What did they draw?
A half-eaten Slim Jim, reportedly still glowing faintly.
Okay, back to the Slim Jims. Consistent.
The critical C.O.N. stamped Vienna sausage can, or maybe just the sausage. The source is a bit unclear there.
But the C.O.N. item, yes.
And then a crumpled government form, tantalizingly marked, top secret, Project Marsupial.
Project Marsupial. Wait, raccoons aren't marsupials.
Exactly. It's a chaotic scattering, but the clues left behind are anything but random, even if one seems mislabeled.
The discarded evidence is rich with implications. The Slim Jim connects back to Mrs. Hendricks' initial report, confirms the raccoon's bizarre dietary preference.
Check.
The C.O.N. stamped item solidifies the organization's existence, or at least its branding.
Check.
But the Project Marsupial form introduces a new layer of intrigue. It suggests a broader scope of governmental awareness or perhaps involvement in animal-related covert operations, even if they got the phylum wrong.
Or maybe the project involves possums and raccoons. Or it's deliberate misinformation.
Possible. But Gretchen, ever the stickler for empirical detail and a keen observer of biological distinctions, quickly offers a correction to John's excited generalization about the form.
What does she say?
That's possums, John.
Keeping him honest.
Her comment serves as a crucial reminder that while John is focused on the grand, overarching narrative, a meticulous approach to specific details is essential. Accuracy matters.
And John's response.
His dismissive details, in response to Gretchen, perfectly encapsulates the tension that defines their investigation.
Grand theories versus specific facts.
The conflict between meticulous empirical observation and an overarching, often speculative theoretical framework. This dynamic is vital for us in parsing the sources.
It forces us to consider how individual pieces of evidence are interpreted through very different lenses, right?
Yeah.
And how one might prioritize certain information over others when faced with the extraordinary.
Precisely.
So the raccoons scatter. What happens then? A chase.
A chase ensues, yes. Through the darkened streets and back alleys of Clayton, it's described with a cinematic flair, almost like an action movie sequence.
But with glowing raccoons.
But set against the uniquely southern, almost overgrown landscape of kudzu-choked backlots.
I can picture that. Kudzu everywhere.
John, clearly channeling his inner Hollywood director, or perhaps police dispatcher, can't resist narrating the pursuit aloud.
Oh no, what does he say?
According to the source, something like, subject is moving eastbound, velocity approximately 3 raccoon lengths per second, suspect glowing like a Chernobyl Christmas tree.
A Chernobyl Christmas tree? Oh my!
While Gretchen, with her characteristic calm and professionalism, simply tries to keep him focused and perhaps breathing.
Trying to maintain some operational security, maybe.
Sanity. It's a mad, glowing dash through the night, a frantic pursuit of these strangely illuminated, helmet-wearing creatures.
Where do they end up?
The chosen destination for this chase is highly symbolic and, it seems, profoundly significant. An old textile mill, long abandoned since 1989.
The classic abandoned building. Perfect lair.
Such a derelict structure, forgotten by the march of progress, untouched by the rhythms of ordinary life. It provides the perfect, secluded, and unobserved backdrop for clandestine activities.
Makes sense.
It's a place where secrets can thrive, hidden in plain sight, far from the prying eyes of the mundane world.
And inside, what do they find inside the mill?
Inside the mill, the scene only intensifies in its strangeness. They discover strange symbols glowed on the brick walls. Circles, arrows.
Glowing symbols now, like the paw prints.
Seemingly luminescent, yes. These are not random graffiti. They appear to be deliberate, perhaps directional, or maybe even ideological markers.
Okay. And then,
the striking central feature that dominates the space. A mural of a raccoon holding a gavel.
a raccoon holding a judge's gavel painted on the wall.
Yes. This image in particular transcends mere decoration or random vandalism. It feels intentional.
That mural, featuring a raccoon with a gavel, feels like a profoundly deliberate piece of iconography. It's specifically designed to convey some deeper meaning within the raccoon's strange emergent world, doesn't it?
It really does.
It suggests more than just intelligence. It implies structure, perhaps even a system of governance or authority.
What's truly fascinating here is the immediate introduction of a potential hierarchy, a system of authority, or perhaps a governing ideology within this C.O.N. group.
And John's interpretation.
John's immediate interpretation, the judge, they worship the judge, points strongly towards an organized, maybe even cult-like structure, complete with veneration and a clear figure of authority.
So it's not just a committee, it's a whole system with a leader figure.
It implies a sophisticated system, a recognized leader maybe, and a core belief system. This figure, the judge, with a gavel, strongly suggests themes of order, law, judgment, maybe the enforcement of rules.
Like they're laying down the law, the C.O.N. law.
It raises the critical question of whether the C.O.N. views itself as an arbiter or enforcer of some universal code, or maybe just their code.
Does Gretchen buy the judge theory?
Again, Gretchen offers her characteristic pragmatic counterpoint, or some kid with spray paint got bored.
Okay, fair. It's an abandoned mill.
Yet the cumulative context, the glowing raccoons, the C.O.N. stamp, the coordinated hot wiring, the helmets, the chant, it lends John's interpretation a disturbing weight, doesn't it?
It does. You can't ignore the pattern.
This image compels us to consider, what precisely does this iconography, especially the judge wielding a gavel, suggest about the raccoon's purpose? Or the Committee for Ordinary Normality's overarching goals?
Are they imposing order, delivering judgment, enforcing a specific mandate upon the world?
The symbolism points to a deliberate, conscious attempt to control or direct events, something beyond just mischief.
The scene inside the old textile mill then reaches its crescendo apparently when the raccoons, with unsettling precision, assemble in formation.
Like soldiers.
The source implies a kind of disciplined gathering. And they resume their chilling, rhythmic con chant. The chant again, reinforcing the identity.
The air is thick with tension. Then, from this abandoned building that should be utterly silent, devoid of any modern function, an unlikely sound slices through the quiet.
What is it?
An air conditioner roars to life.
An air conditioner in an abandoned mill from 1989.
It's such a bizarre, specific, and anachronistic detail, almost comically out of place, yet profoundly unsettling in its implication of hidden activity. Someone's keeping cool.
If we connect this development to the broader narrative, this specific moment is a truly critical turning point.
How so?
The sound of a working air conditioner in a derelict building immediately signifies a hidden, active presence. Someone or something is maintaining infrastructure there.
Okay.
And then a disembodied voice, crackling from the ducts, directly addresses John and Gretchen by name.
A voice from the air ducts.
Yes. It says, "Agents John and Gretchen, cease your interference. The Committee for Ordinary Normality thanks you for your compliance." Whoa. Okay, that changes everything. They know who they are.
This statement transcends any previous encounter. It is no longer just a local phenomenon, an isolated incident of animal oddity, or even just a hidden organization leaving clues. This is a highly organized entity that is demonstrably aware of John and Gretchen's precise identities, their investigative activities, and their exact location within the mill.
They're being watched. Closely.
The voice speaks with an undeniable authority, issuing a direct, personalized warning and, let's be honest, a thinly veiled threat.
Definitely a threat.
This implies an unseen network, a pervasive surveillance capability, and perhaps even technological means to project a disembodied voice in such a location.
So what happens after the voice speaks?
The immediate aftermath is equally telling. The raccoons vanish. Just gone. As quickly as they appear.
Vanished. How?
The sources don't specify. Just gone. Leaving only the C.O.N. stamped Vienna sausage can spinning on the floor. A solitary piece of physical evidence.
The spinning can, like a top.
And then the lingering, whispered warning that seems to echo through the empty mill. Stay ordinary.
Stay ordinary.
That's creepy. This phrase instantly becomes a chilling mantra, doesn't it? A directive from this unseen, powerful force. A command to conform.
Don't look behind the curtain.
The spinning Vienna sausage can, the last remaining tangible proof of the night's extraordinary events, becomes this poignant symbol of the elusive nature of truth and the difficulty of gathering evidence against such an organized and technologically advanced force.
It's physical, but it represents something you can't quite grasp.
Exactly. It's a physical object, yet it embodies the intangible hidden power of the committee. This raises an important and unsettling question for us. What level of power, influence, and technological capability does this committee wield? Enough to manifest a voice in a derelict building. Enough to issue such direct, personalized, and menacing warnings.
It suggests a reach far beyond what simple animal coordination could achieve. It hints at a sophisticated, perhaps even global, network. All right, so after the chilling, almost supernatural encounter at the mill, the voice, the vanishing raccoons, the spinning can, John and Gretchen, still reeling, I imagine,
Understandably so.
they return to Mrs. Hendricks's farmhouse, and she's exactly where they left her, apparently, sitting resolutely on her porch, a shotgun resting across her lap,
Prepared?
and her beloved cat nestled securely in her arms. A picture of steadfast Southern readiness and maybe a comforting anchor in a world that's rapidly unraveling for them.
A point of stability in the chaos.
She reiterates her bizarre sighting, confirming every detail they relayed back to her, but then she provides a critical, utterly unexpected piece of information. Something new.
Oh, what is it?
It truly changes everything about their understanding of what they heard. She reveals with a surprising air of academic authority they were speaking Latin.
Latin, the raccoons, or the voice.
The raccoons, apparently. During the break-in attempt at the snack shed, she says, "I took 3 years in high school. I know Latin when I hear it."
High school Latin saves the day. Okay, what were they saying?
This is truly where the scattered, disparate puzzle pieces of this extraordinary narrative begin to coalesce. They start to form a coherent, albeit deeply unsettling picture.
Because of the Latin?
Mrs. Hendricks, this seemingly unassuming witness, unexpectedly provides the crucial linguistic key to understanding the Committee for Ordinary Normality.
Right, what was the word?
The Latin word she repeatedly heard them chanting, or perhaps chattering in that kazoo Morse code way, was ordinarius, over and over.
Ordinarius.
John, with his characteristic alacrity for connecting disparate data points, immediately grasps its monumental implications.
What does he think it means?
He says, "Ordinary, Gretchen, that's their doctrine. They want to make everything ordinary."
Ordinary. Ordinary. Their doctrine.
Wow. This revelation is nothing short of monumental. It transforms the C.O.N. from merely a shadowy organization with weird animal agents
Into something far more profound. A philosophical movement, maybe. A guiding principle. A deeply ingrained goal.
So it's not just a name like Committee for Ordinary Normality. It's literally their mission statement. Maintain the ordinary.
Exactly. The Committee for Ordinary Normality isn't just about raccoons, hot wiring cars, or disappearing into the night. It's about actively shaping, or perhaps more accurately, suppressing anything that deviates from a perceived norm.
That's a huge concept.
The profound implication of ordinarius as their doctrine means they are engaged in a systematic, perhaps even ideological enforcement of a specific version of reality.
Which raises a ton of questions.
It raises a cascade of critical questions. What exactly constitutes ordinariness in their view? What does it mean for a world teeming with unique individuals, surprising discoveries, unexpected events?
Are they actively working to eliminate anything that challenges predictability, anything that sparks wonder or deviates from some meticulously controlled baseline?
It certainly seems that way. Gretchen's dry humor, though, provides a moment of levity.
What does she say to making everything ordinary?
Her observation is that it sounds like the DMV to me.
Huh. Okay, that's relatable. Bureaucracy is the ultimate enforcer of the ordinary.
While providing a much-needed moment of relatable levity amidst the escalating strangeness, it does not, for a second, diminish the core, unsettling implication of this doctrine.
No, it underlines it almost.
Her humor acts as a coping mechanism, a very human reaction to the increasingly surreal, while simultaneously acknowledging the underlying truth of what John has deduced. The idea that an organization could be actively dedicated to enforcing a bland, predictable version of existence is not only chilling, but raises fundamental questions about free will, individual expression, and the very nature of reality itself.
It's profoundly disturbing. So they have this new piece. The doctrine is ordinarius. What happens next? Does the weirdness stop?
Not a chance. The next morning brings an even more ominous development. A new, unsettling player arriving directly at John and Gretchen's doorstep.
Who's
A sharp knock announces the arrival of a tall man, impeccably dressed in a beige suit, bland to the point of being suspicious.
the beige, the color of ordinary?
Our sources go to great lengths to emphasize his deliberate inconspicuousness. His tie, we are told, was exactly the same shade as mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Wow, that's aggressively bland.
And his badge, designed perhaps to be dismissive and bureaucratic, read, Department of Wildlife Subdivision, Trash Mammals.
Subdivision. Trash mammals. Seriously.
This entire presentation screams calculated, deliberate blandness, and almost weaponized normalcy.
He feels like a uniform for the C.O.N.
The agent's appearance is not merely descriptive. It's a deliberate tactic, an embodiment of the ordinary doctrine itself. He is a walking, talking manifestation of the very blandness the C.O.N seeks to enforce.
Okay.
His badge, while seemingly innocuous and designed to evoke bureaucratic tedium, subtly, almost subliminally, links established government agencies' Department of Wildlife to the very creatures and phenomena they are supposedly investigating.
Suggesting infiltration.
Or maybe just co-option. It suggests a deep, insidious connection. His immediate, unwavering demand is for the Vienna sausage can.
The spinning can from the mill. Their last piece of physical proof.
Very same. The last piece of physical evidence. This demand is a direct, undeniable attempt to erase the tangible proof of John and Gretchen's extraordinary encounter.
Who they give it to?
The interaction suggests they do, perhaps reluctantly.
Yeah.
But then comes the critical slip. A momentary lapse where the meticulously crafted veil of ordinariness momentarily drops.
What'd he say?
The agent, in a moment of either overconfidence or maybe calculated carelessness, states, "The Committee for Ordinary Normality thanks you for your cooperation."
He said it. He named them.
Gretchen, sharp as ever, instantly pounces on this admission. "You just admitted to being in C.O.N.?"
Gotcha.
His immediate rapid denial and redirection, "I don't know what you're talking about. Please enjoy your ordinary day," serves as undeniable confirmation.
It's proof. Well, verbal proof.
Undeniable confirmation of governmental awareness, if not direct and active involvement, with this clandestine organization. This is no longer merely a peculiar animal phenomenon. This is state-level obfuscation and covert operations designed to maintain a carefully constructed illusion.
And then, does he just take the can and leave?
Not quite. Then comes the chilling, undeniable demonstration of their power. The agent, with a casualness that belies the gravity of his actions, pulls out a device.
What kind of device?
A pocket device that looks suspiciously like a Bed Bath & Beyond coupon scanner.
A coupon scanner, you're kidding.
Another incredible mundane detail used for an utterly extraordinary and terrifying purpose. He aims this unassuming device at the C.O.N stamped can.
Yeah.
And with an almost imperceptible hum, it dissolves into a puff of beige dust.
Dissolves, just gone, like the raccoons.
And beige dust. John's distraught cry, "No, that was my proof."
It's heartbreaking.
He captures the devastating absolute loss of tangible evidence, the very thing that validates his extraordinary claims to a skeptical world.
Their only physical evidence, gone.
This act of evidence eradication raises profound and deeply unsettling questions for us. How high up does the Committee for Ordinary Normality's influence genuinely reach?
And what kind of technology is that?
Exactly. What kind of advanced technology do they possess to erase physical evidence so completely, so efficiently, and with such apparent ease? This is far beyond a simple cover-up involving shredders or incinerators.
It sounds like science fiction.
It suggests an advanced, almost magical form of material manipulation. Maybe quantum disintegration? Localized energy fields? Who knows? The choice of a coupon scanner as the device of destruction is a masterstroke of psychological warfare, isn't it?
Yeah, blending the utterly mundane with the utterly miraculous.
It reinforces the C.O.N's overarching theme of weaponized normalcy. The repeated, almost menacing "stay ordinary" as the agent departs.
He says it again.
Yes, as he slips into a government sedan so bland and nondescript, it might have been invisible.
An invisible beige sedan.
Metaphorically, perhaps. It powerfully reinforces the pervasive and insidious nature of this threat. It implies a vast, well-resourced organization capable of operating with alarming impunity, erasing not just physical objects, but potentially memories and perceptions, subtly reshaping reality to fit their ordinary mandate.
That's terrifying, the scale of it.
The sheer scale of effort and technological sophistication put into maintaining this enforced ordinariness is staggering. It suggests a global, pervasive operation.
So, that night, after the jarring visit from the bland agent and the devastating loss of his physical proof, John is struggling.
Understandably. His reality confirmed and then erased.
He's out at the grill, furiously flipping burgers, trying to process the day's profoundly unsettling events. Gretchen, ever the grounding presence, sits nearby, sipping sweet tea, observing him.
A quiet moment after the storm.
John, desperate for validation now more than ever, recounts his trifecta of undeniable proof. The C.O.N chant, the judge mural, Mrs. Hendricks' Latin revelation.
Laying out his case again.
Describing them not as mere observations, but as irrefutable arguments for the unbelievable, trying to convince himself as much as Gretchen, maybe.
And just as John reaches the depths of his despair, just as Gretchen offers her typically skeptical yet affectionate retort about the comforting simplicity of Dr. Pepper,
Yeah.
something truly extraordinary happens, an event that transcends all previous forms of evidence. The grill, in a sudden intense flare-up, illuminates the night.
A grease fire.
Perhaps just a flare-up. And in the swirling smoke above the flames, a faint outline appeared. The face of a raccoon, wearing a judge's wig.
In the smoke. The judge raccoon.
This is not just another strange visual. It is profoundly significant because, for the very first time, Gretchen sees it too.
She saw it. Gretchen saw the smoke judge.
Her simple, stunned admission, okay, that one I saw too, is a monumental moment of validation for John and a turning point for her.
Wow, okay. That changes her perspective, surely.
Up until this point, she has steadfastly maintained her role as the skeptic, offering rational, albeit increasingly strained, explanations for every strange occurrence. But this visual manifestation,
This shared vision.
this undeniable image burned into the smoke, it transcends mere physical evidence. It's an undeniable, shared, almost ethereal experience that challenges her reality in a way a luminescent paw print or dissolving can never could.
So what does this all mean for us, analyzing this? When even the most steadfastly skeptical observer, someone so committed to the rational, has their reality irrevocably challenged by something so ephemeral, so profound, yet so undeniably present.
The nature of this proof is absolutely critical to our understanding of the C.O.N's capabilities. This isn't something you can collect, analyze in a lab, or dissolve with a coupon scanner.
Right, it's not physical.
It's a psychological, almost spiritual imprint. It powerfully suggests that the Committee for Ordinary Normality's influence is not limited to the physical realm. They possess the ability to leave lasting, undeniable impressions, even after their physical presence is gone, perhaps manifesting directly into the subconscious or creating shared hallucinatory experiences.
That's a whole other level of control.
This visual, appearing precisely when John is despairing, also strongly reinforces his earlier judge theory, making it far more credible now that Gretchen has seen something related. It implies that the committee has a way of communicating, or even manifesting its presence, through means that operate beyond the tangible, directly influencing perception.
That is a powerful and deeply disturbing thought.
That this organization might operate on levels we can barely comprehend, ensuring their mandate of ordinariness persists, not just in the external world, but even in the internal landscapes of the minds of those who witness the truly extraordinary.
It implies a control not just of matter, but of mind. Okay, so the incredible story of John and Gretchen's wild night and the deeply unsettling revelations about the Committee for Ordinary Normality comes to a cryptic, almost theatrical close.
There's more. After the smoke judge.
There's an ominous hint of what's still to come. Late that night, John, still reeling from the day's profound events, the agent, the dissolving can, the smoke vision, discovers a slip of paper
Where?
wedged discreetly under his door.
Someone came back.
It seems so. It's typewritten, simple, yet utterly chilling in its message.
What does it say?
Episode 2 awaits. The owls in Benson are not what they seem. C.O.N.
Episode 2. They think this is a show. And owls now.
This is a classic deep dive cliffhanger, isn't it? Masterfully crafted, perhaps by C.O.N. itself, to connect this singular incident in Clayton to a potentially much larger, ongoing, and insidious saga.
The message itself serves as undeniable confirmation of C.O.N's continued surveillance and activity. John and Gretchen are still very much on their radar.
Marked by their defiance of the ordinary.
But it also, critically, hints at their expansive scope, extending far beyond the immediate confines of Clayton, specifically mentioning the owls in Benson.
Benson, another town nearby, and owls.
It immediately suggests that another seemingly ordinary animal, one traditionally associated with wisdom and mystery, is being co-opted, manipulated, or perhaps even transformed by the committee, echoing the fate of the raccoons.
Are not what they seem. That's the key phrase.
Exactly. It's particularly chilling, implying a hidden nature or a covert purpose, challenging our fundamental assumptions about the natural world again. This message emphatically confirms that C.O.N. is not a one-off event, but a persistent, widespread, and evolving threat that is subtly yet systematically infiltrating the fabric of everyday life.
John's reaction is recorded as just a whisper. The owls.
A perfect, almost cinematic setup for the next mystery. A clear, unsettling signal that their bizarre, deeply unordinary journey is far from over.
It really sets up the next stage.
And then we're left with Gretchen's weary yet wonderfully human and still humorous threat. A final word from the skeptic-turned-witness.
What's her parting shot?
If you bring an owl into this house, John, I'm moving in with Miss Hendricks.
Huh. Okay, she's seeing glowing raccoons and smoke judges, but owls are where she draws the line.
This line serves as a final, relatable human reaction to the escalating absurdity. It keeps her character consistent as the grounded, practical counterpoint, even as she has now been forced to acknowledge the undeniable strangeness of their new reality.
She accepts the weird, but she still has boundaries.
It also subtly highlights the profound personal toll and domestic impact these extraordinary events are having on their lives. It adds a layer of poignant relatability to an otherwise fantastical narrative.
Yeah, this isn't just happening out there anymore, it's affecting their home life.
The Committee for Ordinary Normality might be erasing evidence and issuing cryptic warnings, but the Whitfields are now forced to navigate a new, profoundly unordinary, and deeply unsettling normal. Their lives have been irrevocably altered. It suggests that even if C.O.N. succeeds in maintaining its facade of ordinariness for the rest of the world, John and Gretchen, at least, have been permanently changed by their brief, terrifying glimpse behind the curtain. Hashtag tag outro.
What an incredible, unsettling journey we've taken today. Really quite something.
It certainly covers a lot of strange ground.
From the initial absurdity of glowing, hot-wiring raccoons in, Mountain Dew helmets, chanting Latin from Vienna sausage cans.
Which sounds unbelievable saying it out loud.
Right. We've unraveled a far more sinister narrative. This shadowy committee for ordinary normality, employing these bland-suited agents who can dissolve physical evidence with devices that look like Bed Bath & Beyond coupon scanners.
The juxtaposition is key.
You presented us with a story that began as a local oddity in Clayton and rapidly escalated into something far more organized, technologically advanced, and frankly, deeply unsettling in its implications.
This deep dive has meticulously shown us, based on these accounts, that the fight for ordinariness might be a far more active, deliberate, and even technologically sophisticated endeavor than any of us could have ever imagined.
It's not passive, it's active enforcement.
Exactly. The inherent tension between John's unwavering, almost eager belief in the extraordinary and Gretchen's persistent yet ultimately challenged skepticism allowed us to explore every conceivable angle of this truly extraordinary series of events.
That dynamic was crucial.
It leaves us with profound questions about what other seemingly ordinary aspects of our world might be carefully maintained, perhaps even aggressively enforced by unseen, highly organized hands. And, at what potential cost to individual experience and the very nature of reality itself.
You've given us a glimpse into a world where the everyday is revealed, potentially, to be a carefully constructed facade, where even the most mundane elements, a Sheetz parking lot, an abandoned textile mill, a backyard barbecue grill, can suddenly become the stages for the profoundly bizarre and the deeply unsettling.
The ordinary becomes the backdrop for the extraordinary.
It makes you truly wonder, doesn't it? What else is truly just ordinary? Is anything?
Consider this then as you go about your day. If the Committee for Ordinary Normality is so relentlessly intent on maintaining the mundane, actively suppressing anomaly, how many of our own personal aha moments are surprising discoveries or are truly unique, inexplicable experiences might be quietly, subtly being monitored or even gently nudged back towards the ordinary by forces we can't even perceive?
That's a chilling thought, that our moments of insight or wonder might be managed.
What is the true existential cost of living in a world where an ordinary existence is meticulously enforced, potentially at the expense of wonder, individuality, and genuine unscripted reality?
A world without the weird. Is that what they want?
The sources seem to point towards a desire for radical conformity, perhaps.
And as that final cryptic note suggests, the story of C.O.N. is far from over.
It seems to be just beginning, or at least this chapter is.
There are owls in Benson that are waiting for their own deep dive, and we'll be ready when you are.